Hello, sweet friend. My name is Maike, and in this video, I would like to share with you my haul from the Dutch pen show and maybe chat a little bit about what it was like at my first pen show. And maybe we can get into the insert that I had made specifically for the pen show, because I got to swatch out some additional inks and also try out some specialty nib grinds, which was really fun. So yeah, overall I had a really lovely 2 days. Everybody was so friendly. It was so nice to be surrounded by pen and ink enthusiasts. And I also got to meet a couple folks that I've known through the internet for quite some time, so that was really wonderful. Yeah, thank you Izzy, thank you Fee. I'll have them linked below. They both have channels. And I also got to meet Uli, also from Germany. So yeah, and a bunch of others. Julia here. So yeah, we had a lovely time. As you can see, in terms of the haul, I did not buy a pen, not for lack of trying. I have actually 2 pens that I almost walked home with. We can talk about that later maybe. The biggest section probably is inks and paper. And maybe we start with a combination of 1 paper and 1 ink, because these actually sort of go together, because this was part of the workshop that I participated in Saturday morning. And in this workshop, we were exploring how to start an ink journal. And as part of the workshop, we got this cute little A5 notebook from Karatis or Karatis. I think they're a Turkish brand, and they make these lovely notebooks with Tomoe River paper in the cream color. And also part of the workshop, we got the workshop ink by Robert Oster called Love Letters. And it's this, yeah, it's kind of like a pinkish red, I would say. So it's definitely red, especially when you apply it thicker, but I'm assuming that once you put it in a pen, it might lean more towards that pinkish red. So yeah, quite interesting. And it was fun to try out some different ways of swatching inks. So yeah, that was quite lovely. And I wasn't actually planning on getting the show ink, so that was kind of a nice surprise to have that included in the workshop. And we also got a little platinum preppy. I actually don't have a platinum preppy, so yeah, can't complain. I mean, so far this has been working really smoothly, so yay for an additional pen. So there's that. And speaking of inks, this was also such a fun booth to explore. They're called Shanghai Stationary, and yes, stationary with an A. On the website, they explain their naming and why they chose to do stationary with an A. But yeah, they had so many lovely colors, and it took quite a bit of willpower to not buy the whole range. And the folks from Shanghai Stationary were so kind, so nice. We had a couple lovely chats, and yeah, I ended up walking away with these 3. And I will do a separate swatching videos where we can take a little bit more time in going through all of these inks. But for now, I swatched them out in my insert here just to give you kind of like a glimpse at the colors. So the Rose Finch is this wonderful burgundy purple, but with quite a bit of yellow in there as well. That's probably quite lovely also for fall. And then Mudan, which is a cute pink in my opinion. And then the big bottle is the glitter ink, and look at that, or shimmer ink, not glitter. And I haven't quite figured out yet. I think it might even be slightly chromo or dual tone shimmer, because sometimes it looks very silver, but then other times it also has a champagne color to it with a little bit of warmer undertones. So yeah, I'm not quite sure, but either way, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I think even if you're not into the shimmer, I think the base color is really nice. yeah, beautiful. And here I was saying we're not gonna get too deep into it, and I can't stop talking about them. But yeah, absolutely wonderful. Highly recommend. I can't wait to get these into pens. I don't know what I was thinking inking up my pens. All new, all my pens, inking of them all up new for the pen show. It's like, of course you're gonna walk away with ink, and now you can't ink them up because you just inked all of your pens. But yeah, really, really exciting, and probably not my last inks by them. And then the other really exciting and special ink, I think, I got from Pen Gallery. They were there from Malaysia. And this was one of their specialty inks in collaboration with Diamine. And I'm not quite sure how to say this correctly, but Ungu Senja, maybe. And it's this really gorgeous chroma shading purple with some pink in there. Beautiful. I can't wait to put that in a pen. And that's probably also going to be lovely to paint with. So really exciting. They had some other inks too, but again, I was trying to be good. And then this was a really, really fun booth. The inksample.nl folks had set up this huge display of all of their available ink samples, and they all had numbers, and then you could pick up one of these cards and write down the ink samples that you would like, and then they would pick it for you. So that's what we have here. And I decided on a variety of inks. I think they're all chroma shading. Very cool. So we have this Zircon ink, which I had never heard of that brand. I looked it up online later on, and it seems like that's also another Chinese ink brand. This is number 52 Hermes or MS. It's beautiful. It's this purple base with a lot of apricot shading, and so it turns out quite warm in the writing, like a warm purple, warple. I know that's not a thing. And then I picked 2 kitty ink pots, because if you have a chance to try out a kitty ink pot, you got to take it, right? So we have Black Cat and the Dreamcatcher Guide, as well as Song of the Crown's Thorn. Very interesting. And then last but not least, I did want to try out this Wearingeul Age of Innocence, and it's beautiful. Can't wait to paint with that too and see what that's like in a pen. So yeah, this is going to be lots of fun. Even though they're just samples, that's going to be lovely playtime. And again, we're gonna do a whole swatching video and explore these and see what they look like with diluted with water. And then sweet Izzy from Hearts Failing, she had put together this really thoughtful gift for me. So precious. Thank you so much, Izzy. And she had recently brought out her own inks, and because I hadn't been in Germany at that time, I wasn't quite able to get my hands on these, but lovely Izzy had put together some ink samples for me of her own inks. So yay, so sweet. I haven't swatched them yet because I feel like they need their own separate spread in my journal. So yeah, I'll probably take you along too and show you these. So very, very fun. And then this was actually part of the workshop still. So we have the ink from Landsiedel Fine Writing. They're a pen shop in Germany, and the workshop host, she works there, and they have their own line of inks. And so this is from the Bowtie collection, number 2, Bowtie Flamingo. Really, really fun. So we have that down here. It's like an orangey red, especially when compared to the Robert Oster Show ink. You can see how much warmer this is. Yeah, so that's really, really fun. So here you can see that as an overview. things that I picked up. Quite cool, I think. And then we have 3 stationery items. These 2 I got from Journalblend, which is a stationery store in the Netherlands. Again, super sweet people. They had a bunch of really fun things. They also had some Serica Studio notebooks and sticker sheets, which is hard to get here in Europe. So I bet people were really, really excited to see that there. And this washi tape is just a fun collection of plaids, and this is made by Color Cafe. I've already been using it on my spreads for the Dutch pen show, and as you can see, it's just super fun to use. And then this one is made by a wonderful artist in Poland, Albumlovehandmade, and I know her or know of her. We've chatted briefly on Instagram, and I was so excited to see one of her products there, so I had to pick this up. And I think these doodle flowers are quite cute, and because it's such a minimalistic color palette, this will just go with anything really. So quite excited for these 2 washi tapes. And then this stamp was also from Pen Gallery, so where I also bought this special ink, and this was a collaboration with Cat Do. So this is my first ever Cat Do product. As a cat lover, I can't believe it took me this long. And this was a special stamp design for the Dutch pen show. So you have these cute Dutch houses, and there's 2 cute cats sitting up here at the top, and then you can write something fun in the speech bubble. And as you can see, I have yet to unwrap this, and I thought we could try out the stamp together. I left a little bit of space here on my spread, and as you can see, there's the lovely Izzy. Yeah, and then maybe we can also save this sticker somehow if I don't completely destroy it. I think overall the variety of booths was really good in terms of vintage pens, modern pens, small pen makers, and a little bit of stationery. I think I thought maybe there would be a little bit more stationery, but I mean, it is a pen show after all, so there's that. It was lovely talking to Galen Leather. They had a new collection out, and I was a little too late because the model that I was particularly interested in from their new collection was already sold out. But it was interesting to hear about the sort of like specialty of the collection nonetheless. So there was that. And I think by day 2, I really got more comfortable with approaching the booths and just picking things up and asking about things, even though I wasn't necessarily going to buy anything. I think on day 1, I was a little bit hesitant. I don't know if anybody, if you have any experience with that, let me know, where you kind of, you don't want to, it's not like leading on, but it's sort of a, I don't want to waste people's time, but I think people appreciate you showing interest regardless of whether or not you're gonna end up buying anything. At least I would feel that way, because I know that at an event like that, you know, people have a budget and people have different priorities, and I understand that maybe, you know, not everybody is ready to buy right now or commit right now, but you know, it's still lovely to chat, and who knows, that can still turn into a buying decision later, I guess. And so that was definitely a benefit of being there for 2 days, is just sort of taking the pressure out of it, out of every interaction, or out of just feeling like you had to like not breeze through it. That's the opposite of what I mean. Rush through it so that you hit all the big points. I felt like on Sunday I had a lot more time to just, for example, wait until your it's your turn to be stepping in front of the table, and so therefore you had more time to chat to the folks who were waiting with you. And I had a lovely interaction with multiple people just waiting. And yeah, it's just, yeah, I think there's something to be said about being able to be there both days. And I know that that's, you know, not always possible, but yeah, I definitely had a really good time on Sunday because of feeling like, okay, I can revisit certain things, and I can just take my time a little bit more. I had a wonderful lunch with Fee, so that was really nice. And we kind of kept missing each other on Saturday, so I would have felt really bummed if that hadn't worked out. So yeah, all that. So I can definitely say that I appreciated having 2 days. And then in terms of not buying pens, these are actually photos of pens that I almost bought. With this one, I really was ready to buy this pen. Beautiful work by Studyo Agackakan. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I think they're from Turkey. This is this beautiful ebonite. Lovely material, also lovely to hold in the hand. I quite liked that feeling. But they only took cash, and I hadn't brought cash, even though the Dutch Pen Show had put out on their information that there might be some vendors only taking cash. And I had sort of like hand waved it. Maybe that's the American in me who is not handling cash at all, ever. But I also learned once I went to the Yamamoto table that it's not just sort of like what the vendors accept, but he told me, because I had asked him, do you prefer cash or card? Because now I had the experience of not being able to buy something because of the cash situation. And they told me that if you do cash, they don't have to charge you sales tax. So you actually got a better deal when you bought cash. And that was something that they hadn't mentioned in the Dutch Pen Show materials. So that's something to keep in mind next time around. I think I would bring more cash. So there's that. But yeah, how cute are these houses? How cute is that stamp? Really, really fun. And then you might have seen this little doodle right here. I actually got 2 of my sailors. I got the nibs looked at, and this one, the tines actually were a little bit misaligned, and so he lined that, Philip from Landsiedel, he aligned those for me and smoothed both of these and made them write a little better, and they're just absolutely lovely now. Not something I can really communicate through the screen, but if you ever get the chance to work with him, that was really wonderful. I had decided so rather late that I was going to go to the pen show, that all the appointments for all the quote-unquote big nibmeisters had been sold out. But Philip from Landsiedel Fine Writing, he did a system where you just went to the table and you got a little number, and then he had you sign up to a WhatsApp channel. I'd never seen that before. But then they were just basically calling the next number via WhatsApp. And so I was able to get in line and yeah, get my 2 sailors looked at. That was really, really wonderful. And he was a very nice person to work with, and that worked out wonderful. So even though it's not 2 new pens, it's definitely 2 pens that now feel absolutely perfect and wonderful. And then I was able to swap cards and stickers with a lot of lovely folks, which was quite nice. So here we have these cute ink bottles from inksample.nl. Really nice. This card, I don't know if it comes across on camera. It's actually kind of silvery shiny, really special. And then I met the cute and wonderful zoibu. I link her channel down below as well. She had made all these beautiful cards, super cute. So I got all these. And speaking of exchanging little things, quite a few people had stickers as well, and maybe this leads us into my TN setup. This pocket came in super handy because that's where I stored all of the stickers that I either bought or people had given me, so that I didn't lose them. And some of them I've already stuck in places, but these I still am hoarding a little bit. So these two Helen had designed from the Coffee Monsters Co. Helen had designed for the Dutch pen show. So I'm gonna find a special place for them. Also my first Coffee Monsters Co. stickers, I can't believe it. And then this Izzy had designed for Skaban, or I don't know if she was giving them out, but she was helping out Skaban, wonderful pen maker. And so I'm not quite sure if she had designed them just for herself or for Skaban, but yeah, that's Izzy's design, really cute. And then this was a wonderful person that I had met waiting in line, and we got to talking about stickers and opening up sticker shops and everything. So that was a really wonderful connection to have made, and she gave me this cutie here. So that was quite lovely. And then these were samples, or not a sample. Well, it's a sampler of stickers, but these were in all the journalblend little baggies, super cute. And then yeah, let's take a look at this. So I ended up being really glad that I had this with me. Didn't really need this all that much, but here I tested out my pens after they had been adjusted, and yeah, was able to confirm that they're right lovely now. And then they had a big table at the Dutch pen show where some of the ink brands had set out a bunch of their inks just for people to try, which I thought was so nice of the brands, but everybody was really respectful too. I feel like yeah, just sampling the inks, and they had provided Q-tips so that it was easy to swatch even if you hadn't brought any swatch materials, and nobody had to fuss with water and cleaning up materials and things like that. So here are some more Shanghai Stationary inks. Yeah, Freedom on Horseback, super cool. Darker ochre color. This Lotus of Silver Moon, like a wonderful pinky purple. And then this is the pink that I ended up buying, and I think I misspelled this. I think that is the Rose Finch that I ended up buying as well. And then at the table of agackakan, I tried 2 inks. I think it got really crowded there, so I ended up not swatching any more of their inks, just because I felt a little bit like I didn't want to hold up the line. And then Robert Oster, at their table, they let you try pretty much all of the inks that they had brought, which was nice. I'm really interested in this earth color. It's like a olivey green, but with a little hint of pink. And then Avocado is similar in that it's a green that has a slight pink chroma shading, but the base green is quite a bit more grassy green. So also quite interesting. And the Robert Oster also had specialty show inks, and I noticed that way too late. It's kind of interesting. I've seen a couple people already post their hauls or their vlogs from the pen show, and they found things that I didn't even see, even though I've again, I was there for also both days. So really interesting. This is all Pannonia inks, really cool. I really like this one. I swatched these rather late on Sunday, and so I was about to head out, and so I didn't end up getting it, but I think I might have if I had swatched this earlier, this Komakek, because I think it's like a chroma shading, indigo blue or jeans blue with a bit of a pink in there. I quite like that. And then super cool, Esterbrook had all of their nib sizes in their specialty grinds for you to try. And I had always thought that nib grinds weren't for me. Because I like drawing with my fountain pen so much, I figured that would kind of irritate me, but it's so fun. This was definitely like a, oh no, what have I gotten myself into? Am I happy to have tried this out because I like it, or would I have rather not known? Because now it's sort of the question is like, oh, am I gonna get a nib grind? So yeah, there's that. But Brian from Esterbrook, he said that these are often out of stock and he didn't have any there, so I was safe. But yeah, so this is the scribe nib and the food nib, really fun. And then Fee has a bunch of interesting nib grinds on her pens, and she let me try those out too. And I think this one was my absolute favorite from all of them. The mini Sankakusen, probably saying that wrong, which is a Naginata grind by CY. Super cool. And then she also had a Mahjong Flex nib. I'm not really into Flex, but it was really cool to see, especially because they're so affordable from Mahjong, so there's that. And then she had an Asvine C80 with the 1.1 stub, also quite cool. And then I think I have a couple photos and some things that lovely folks have written in this for me, and I'm gonna skip those just because they didn't sign up to have their message on display. But I thought I had another page of trying out nib grinds. Am I being... Oh, we went right past it. That was already the second page. So yeah, this was the first one. Where I just tried different ones. I wasn't too enthused about the journaler nib. I know a lot of folks love this, but that wasn't really quite what I don't know, that didn't gel with me, I guess. But yeah, I really love the scribe. The food is quite fun. And then Fee had a beak point, which that on the... It looks like somebody broke the nib, really. It's like this. And then you can draw and write with it normally, but then if you turn it around, it just lays down so much ink. You can really just color in beautifully with that. So yeah, that was quite fun too. But yeah, so those were the nib grinds that I tried out. Quite a few booths had stamps, which I also only figured out way too late. So I tried to get at least a few in here, but yeah, something to maybe look out for next year. But these are so cute. Look at that cute Tono and Limbs bear. Quite precious. I might put in a few notes to just remind myself. And then a bunch of the stickers that I collected. So cute. And yeah, this was the person again that I met in line. I'm gonna write about that some more, I think. And yeah, I gauged that pretty well. There's just these pages left. I might maybe make another list of my haul in this one just so that it's all together. Maybe do like a price breakdown. I think that might be handy to have. And then that's it. So that was really good to have. I quite enjoyed that. And overall, I had a really good time. And now the question is, when can I go next? Where? Yeah, I know that there's one in London in October, I think. But we'll see. Maybe I just also need to take it easy. And it's quite easy after a show like that and having had a good experience to really want to just go to all of them now. But yeah. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. And as I said, we will do a little bit more of an in-depth video on the Yamamoto papers, and also we'll do some cozy swatching sessions with these inks. Have you tried any of these Yamamoto papers? Have you tried any of the Shanghai Stationary inks? Let me know. Are you still going to a pen show this year, and where are you going? If you're comfortable sharing. Now I'm curious where people are heading. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for sharing this time with me, and until next time, happy journaling.